Okay, I think we'll start. Let people can keep coming in. So, thank you so much, everyone, and good afternoon. Thank you for joining us in another, of our leadership webinar series. I am Priyanka, as you may already know, and today I'm joined by Mr. Amar Sane, who's an EVP at Pramerica Life Insurance. So, for all of you who are new here, who are joining us for the first time in this, leadership webinar series, I will, set a brief context about what we do at MeHoop, why we are here today, what we are going to discuss, and of course, a brief introduction of our guest, so that you know what you are going to take away once you go back from this webinar. So, coming back to what MeHoop does, MeHoop is an end-to-end voice AI platform for enterprise, and we enable enterprises, especially in the BFSI space, to leverage the power of conversations. These conversations can be human to human or human to machine, and in a way that will help them drive positive business outcomes. So we do it via our various applications like voice bots, real-time agent assist, speech analytics, etc. So, the theme for today's webinar is very closely related to what we do. It involves voice AI and it involves the industry that we've probably made the most impact in, which is insurance. So, we will be discussing today how voice AI can be a catalyst for driving customer conversations in insurance. Not just voice AI, but how technology is shaping up this customer conversation landscape in insurance. And I have the privilege of hosting a very special guest today, Mr. Amar Sane, Executive Vice President, Sales and Distribution at Pramerica Life Insurance. So, Amar sir has 3 decades in the customer engagement space, with more than two-thirds of it being in the life insurance industry. And he wears multiple hats, and sir, the privilege of hosting you today is truly mine. If I could please request you to give, brief introduction for our audience today.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Priyanka, for having me here. So, as far as I'm concerned, I started my career in sales with different industries, starting with medical industries, then moving on to the FMCG industry, then finally landed in the insurance industry. So, I have spent about 23 years now in insurance. I love this profile, I love this role. The reason being that I believe insurance is a very noble product. And at Pramerica Life also, we believe that this is a very noble. In fact, we are one of the pioneers who actually ensure the defense segment to a very high extent. So, therefore, it is very critical for me to be in insurance. And why insurance? Because you get to know so many people. I think that is where, and I have seen the changes evolving over a period of time. So that's what I have been. So I did sales for a period of time. Then I moved into distribution strategy planning. I did that for a while. Then I moved into renewal management and customer grievance management for a while. At Pramerica Life today, I manage both these hats. I manage the renewals as well as the distribution strategy for Pramerica Life. On the personal side, I am also because as I said, I love talking to people, and I really want to make a difference to people. So insurance as a profession I have chosen, which helps me that. But on the personal side, I am also a life coach and an executive coach, wherein I do pro bono coaching for people stuck in areas like finding the purpose of life, or any relationship matters, or so on and so forth, or any startups who generally need some more ideation. So that's where my coaching comes into play. Recently, I have also authored a book called as What Ifs, Beyond the What Ifs rather. And that book is more focused on the consumer understanding life insurance as a product. Because the first question which came to my mind is that what if that the one of the most important products of your financial plan is misunderstood by you? And that is why it started saying that beyond the what if. So what if also covers some angle of the procrastination which people do when it comes to planning for the future and protecting it via life insurance. So all those myths are busted in that book. So here I am, and I'm excited to talk about the AI landscape today and how it is going to transform. So happy to be here.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. And you wear so many hats, and we keep talking about how voice AI is important or AI is important, right? But when it comes from people like you, I think it gives people a different perspective on how it can actually make an impact, not just for the insurance industry, but in any related industry as well. So thank you so much for joining us, sir.
Yeah, and one of the things you would like to know is that the first voice I think I was the one in implementing that in the insurance sector for the first time,
Okay.
way back in 2017. Sorry, 2019. That was the first time we implemented a voice bot for our
Okay.
renewals use case.
Great, great. So I'm sure, during the course of this discussion, I think, we would love to know about that experience. And, I think you have hands-on experience, what challenges you face, etc. So we'll definitely touch upon that. So thank you so much, sir. And, from time to time, MeHoop as a company, we keep coming back to discourse on insurance, whether it is our events, whether it is our webinars, we keep coming back to this because last 9 years, more than 9 years, we've worked with BFSI, especially insurance sector. And there's this one fundamental fact that we have established, that insurance is a business of conversations, right? Whether it's a sale, whether it's a renewal, whether it's a query, it all starts with that one voice at the other end of your line in your call center, right? So we see that if insurance becomes a business of conversations, then we like to say that MUP is in the business of making sure each of these conversations work for you, right? So that's what we like to say. And over the next 30-40 minutes, we will attempt to understand how this entire landscape has changed, what technological trends you are seeing, right? What role is AI or voice AI playing, right? And the best practices, right, from someone like you who knows this industry inside out. So with this, so I will ask you my first question, which is, we are talking about customer conversations. So how have you seen customer conversations evolve in the life insurance industry over the last few years? What aspect of this shift is very much visible to you?
See, insurance traditionally, I agree with you that when you say that it's a business of conversations, and those conversations originally in a brick mortar model was happening between two people, the seller and the customer. So those conversations used to happen. Gradually, people shifted to having conversations when a person is not visible, which is a call center. Then digitally also people are having now conversations, and that is the trend change which I have been seeing. And the entire technology adoption across India, especially even if you go further to tier two, three, the technology adoption has been fabulous, and that gives impetus to any such kind of conversation which can happen, and life insurance selling becomes kind of little more accessible because now all the channels in a way are covered for having those kind of conversations, be it a in-person conversation, a telephonic conversation, or a digital engagement and conversation.
Right. So when you see that, there are now multiple channels where you are touching your customers, like, you're interacting with your customers. And what are the challenges that you think, especially distribution teams or sales teams will face when it comes to ensuring that consistency, quality, and productivity is maintained across all of these conversations? What do you think are the major challenges they will face?
See, one of the major challenges, as I said, yet also while we have other channels opened up, the predominant channel yet is a in-person one-on-one conversation, which leads to an insurance sale. Because insurance is a complex product, it needs to be explained appropriately by understanding the need of the customer. Because at Pramerica Life also, we ensure that we do a very need-based selling. And when you want to do that need-based selling, the consistency or the standardization of the process of a sale, that how do you actually understand the needs of the customer, how do you make a plan for the customer, then how do you kind of make a solution for those particular needs for that particular customer, which are kind of very personal to that. So it may not be one size fits all. So you have to customize your product solutions in such a way that the customer needs are met when it comes to long-term financial planning and protection. So the challenge is about getting that standardization across. So if at Pramerica Life today we have 3,000 sales force and over 50,000 agents, how do I ensure that everybody talks the same language and follows the same pattern? I think that is one of the larger challenges, and which I think with AI coming in, a lot can be solved for.
Right. So, continuing from there itself, sir, so how do you see technology, right? AI technology specifically shaping this customer engagement in the insurance industry?
See, today, when it comes to AI technology, there are two, three things which come. So, if let's say I talk about a telecaller, now AI can provide a very customized script on the fly. In the sense, when I'm talking to the customer, there can be a prompter which comes and says that, okay, this is what you need to talk. If they analyze the sentiment of the customer, and therefore, if you want to make any changes to that, and all this can happen real time. So when it comes to call center, AI can really transform the way today callers speak to their customers. Similarly, when it comes to an in-person meeting, in-person meeting also today AI technology has evolved that I can do role plays. I can do role plays, learn, and kind of equip myself before actually I meet a customer. Secondly, on the real time also, AI tools can provide me inputs and product because today we have multiple products. So let's say at Pramerica Life, we have about 25, 26 products. And remembering every part of that product for every person may not be possible at all times. And when you want to customize the solution there and there itself. So in earlier days, we used to take 1 day time from the customer saying that, okay, now that I have understood your need, let me go back and come back to you with a solution. But today, the world is moving towards instantaneous. So my salesperson has to give an instantaneous solution to that. Now, therefore, AI technology, the way it is evolving today, can make a big difference to the way the selling happens on the ground as well.
So, but sir, do you think the technology that is already available in the market today is that meeting these needs, or do you see there are gaps in this technology which still need to be filled before an insurance company can go all out on AI technology?
See, in my experience, as I told you, I was the first one to implement a voice bot. Most possibly, I was industry first in terms coming to implementing of voice bot. Now, voice bot then and voice bot today, there has been a remarkable change. So technology will continue to evolve. Yet my recommendation is that we cannot wait for one final day wherein everything will be there because technology will continue to evolve till the such time that your use case is being met. Even at a 40% level, I think that is the time when you should really go ahead and start implementing AI in your domain as a life insurance leader.
Right. So when I say conversations, there can be various conversations. I can also chat, I can also do an email. But from our experience, we've seen voice seems to be the most powerful channel, especially for, again, insurance industry. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think voice plays the most important role in your case as well?
See, the generations are different. In a typical life insurance business, you will find all type of customer segments. So you will have the Gen Zs also, millennials also, the boomers also. So everybody is there, and every customer segment has a different need in terms of how they want to achieve those conversations. Having said that, yet in a human context, listening to a human voice is always preferred in my experience with most of the customers. So they because the question and answers on a voice are much faster than I actually typing out or something like that. Maybe as we go along, the technology will evolve, wherein a chatbot also can work on voice. Then that will be a very different story. But as of now, voice will remain critical. And especially in the terms that now, when in the earlier setup, if I'm having a call center, for example, the call center was subjected to some limitations in terms of linguality, in terms of how many people I can have who can speak various different languages. With voice coming in, I think that has gone away. Now you have very smart bots which can actually switch language like this. So based on what customer is speaking, if I'm talking in English, the bot responds in English. If I convert myself to Hindi or a Marathi or any other regional language, the bot will also kind of start responding. I think that plays a very, very critical role. And your dependency on a particular skill set will go down.
Right. So even though technology has evolved, right, and you're right about these bots coming in, so much of redundant routine work that can be automated, right, we still feel there is a fear of AI replacing jobs, right, instead of augmenting roles. What are your thoughts on that? Like, is it about coexistence of human and AI, or is it about AI taking over entirely?
See, as we speak, if you look at the overall technology, okay, the time when possibly a typewriter was invented, that necessarily did not took away a job. It only needed people with a different skill set. So AI, in my view, need not necessarily eat away jobs. What it would require is that you upgrade yourself to be AI competent. And that is going to be the crux of it. While the mundane and routine tasks can be done by AI, a agent or a human, the emotions which a person can bring in a conversation can't be replaced by AI, is my understanding as of now. We are yet far away from having bots who can actually understand the emotion and actually reply in that emotion or understand the human sentiment per se. They will analyze that, oh, customer is angry or customer is sad or customer is very happy and excited. Those are there. But as a human can change their behavior towards the customer in a conversation, I think we are yet not there in terms of bots getting there. So I think it will coexist always, and it should be looked at, bot or AI as a whole should be looked at as a how is it going to enhance my productivity? Now, for example, in a call center agent, the agent should not worry saying that, okay, will I lose a job if a voice bot gets implemented? Because what he or she needs to understand is that bot is actually helping to connect with a proper customer. The difficult queries are coming to you. Therefore, you have a better chance of cracking it, and your expertise should be there to crack what a voice bot can't do. So, if you are able to gel that kind of capabilities, nobody is replacing no one.
Right. So, like you said, 6 years back, you implemented voice AI at, Pramerica Life. So, could you talk about that experience of yours? I'm sure you must have experienced some naysayers like, no, this won't work for us. Why are we going for this?
Yeah, initially bot were little funny in the sense, though we implemented it, it was funny. It had a lot of latency. For example, it would say that, okay, policy number 1, 2, 3, that kind of pronunciation was a problem. The name pronunciations were a problem. But with over last 5 years, I have seen that those problems are now no more there. So those are implemented, and therefore the technology will continue to evolve, as I said earlier. And you have to adopt when it is right for you, and when it makes a business case for you. And a business case would be made that whether you are making a productivity rise or whether you are saving on cost or you are able to give a greater or a better customer experience. If these are your three prime parameters which you use to evaluate whether you need a AI or a similar technology or not, I think that should be the distinction rather than anything else.
Right. So, what should, insurance leaders keep in mind when they are evaluating AI vendors, or when they are, thinking about maybe building or buying an AI technology?
So, at a large, I can talk more about Pramerica Life. That where when we are looking at AI vendors, one important thing is that that whether the technology itself is the latest. Second, whether their pipeline, the product pipeline, what they have is having a vision of what they want to achieve over next 2, 3 years, and what kind of developments and what kind of enhancements I can kind of upgrades or rather I can look from them. That is a very important criteria. The third criteria is the technical aspects in terms of whether it is compatible with my systems or my overall processes, whether it is how much of customization I have to do to adapt to an AI. Because as much as it is closer to my use case, it is better for me to adopt. So that would be the third part. Fourth, of course, is the pricing, how these cases are priced and whether it is making a CBA for me or not. So these will be the 4, 5 parameters on which we would also experience matters whether they have implemented something in an insurance domain or they have not. So there are about 7, 8 checklists what we typically follow, but top 5 being these.
So, have you come across any myths or fears, maybe from your colleagues itself, right? Whenever there is talk of this AI adoption or any technology disruption that you want to bring in, I'm sure you must have heard some things.
Yeah, so typically people will be a little fearful that whether it will impact the employability of my team, whether there is any impact of that. So that will be the first myth or fear, you may say. The second important is whether it will reach its outcome. So we might want, or when we see demos, everything looks hunky-dory. Actually, on the ground, whether that bot will work and it will deliver the results on which. So there are now various people who are so confident about their technology. They come to insurers with a variable model, in the sense they don't charge, maybe there will be a setup fee, but they will charge on the outcome. So one of the partners we have, they charge us only on the collections done by the bot on the renewal side. So that is a very, very interesting, and that shows the confidence of a partner in their own product. So those are the things which are, I think, very critical. And once people know that, and once my colleagues or anybody else understands that, then those myths go away. But of course, that also requires a conversation.
Absolutely. So, as someone who's me representing someone who's building for the insurance industry for India, right? What key things would you want us to remember, right? Like that makes a solution saleable, right? All of us can, just build something and say that we have it, right? But what would it actually make it viable or trustable for the insurance industry?
So one is that the demonstration what or the product when you do a demo, it should be in a position. So the common mistake which a lot of AI players do actually is that they have developed something for something else. Let's say they have made a conversational bot for a loan segment of a bank. Now, if you are going to come and show a similar demonstration for an insurance company where the script is different, pitch is different, the customer knows that he has to make a EMI payment. It's a loan vis-a-vis in a insurance. It is to be resold as a product. So if you are not able to kind of understand the industry and make a demo out of that, that will be little difficult. Or you should remember that as much as possible, your demo should be as close to the use case what customers are wanting to have. Maybe it should not be directly that one should get into a demo. First, have a conversation with your prospective client and understand what kind of use cases they are looking at. Or you may, if they don't have a use case, you, based on your research, you can suggest certain use cases and then show a demo. That will be more convincing. Third part of this would be that you also have to understand that anybody who is wanting to do AI, how are you going to track the metrics for them? Which means that whether my CX is going up, whether my revenue is going up, or my cost is coming down. So you should have that alignment with that particular client, and you should be in your original pre-sales. You should be able to demonstrate that okay, this is what this technology can achieve for you,
Right.
and then backed up by the demo which says that okay, on slides I have shown this is what it is, but actually I am showing a bot which actually is making a very impressive conversation, and then people might be a little more open to come to you.
So, there's sales, there is cost optimization, there is CSAT management, right? Like three important metrics which are important for, I think, most companies, right? Which of these metrics, do you, as a leader, you look at first when you're looking at any kind of technology adoption, not just voice AI, right? Which of these matters most? Like sales should increase, my cost should decline, or, my CCX should be the best.
Actually, three, you may not want to just pick one. You will have to look at it all the three in togetherness, because CX, having said that, the dollar, that engagement which we do with the customer, the experience what we are wanting to give to the customer should increase your advocacy and thereby new business or sales or the renewals for that matter. So revenue therefore becomes important. And by doing all this, I have to, because there is a constant pressure to maximize your margins, and cost of doing business should come down. So three are equally important. I may not want to place one versus the other. We will have to look at all the three together.
Right. So, we've talked about the current scenario, right? Like voice AI or technology that can shape insurance. But if you look at the coming next 3 to 5 years, right, what opportunities do you see opening up as AI becomes more mainstream in insurance?
Oh, yeah, that's a wonderful question. So personally, I imagine, see, I have been working in insurance for such a long time. In fact, in my book also, I have described life goal-based financial planning a lot. That what is the difference between a normal financial plan and life goal-based financial plan, that is described in my book. So I am a strong believer that a person should do a life goal-based financial planning. And a lot of times people have to share a lot of details about that. So how about I creating a personal bot wherein that data resides only with the customer, nowhere else, nobody can kind of hack it, track it. But I create a bot for the customer, wherein that customer conversations will be done by the bot to arrive at a life goal based financial plan. And then once it is integrated with other services, let's say it is integrated with life insurers, it is integrated with general insurers, it is integrated with mutual fund companies, and all my financial decisions, I can give instructions to the bot to do it. And it's a very personal bot to me. So I visualize that 3 years or 5 years down the line, we should reach that stage wherein one, we are able to build that kind of a technology, and secondly, people are open to adopt that at a personal level. So, like for example, you might find today that a lot of youngsters, they are using this AI for reasons wherein they, let's say, they find themselves lonely or something like that. So you hear a lot of stuff. So instead of that, if somebody is actually helping you on a financial planning, I think that will be a game changer.
I think, uh, like you
Because it
said,
will also include, imagine that every insurer has, let's say, such voice conversations. They are conversing with customers and actually helping them out. And that adds a new line of business for them.
exactly.
So it's a very interesting thought in my view. And I'm sure that in 3 to 5 years, we will get there.
I think just privacy would be one thing that we would need to, like, anyone who's building
Correct.
that would need
Correct.
to tackle. So thank you. And anything, about this, not just AI, just insurance as a sector, as an industry as a whole, right? What is it about the future of insurance that excites you most? I know you are, you've been in here since the last 23 years, so I know you love this industry already, right? But what about the prospects of this industry excites you the most?
See, the way our population is today, and when we say that, so insurance is not only about life insurance, life insurance. There are three angles. The way I would say that again, I have also covered that in my book. The various life risks which a human faces. So one of the risk is mortality, which means that I might pass away or I may die before the right age. Second is always that what if I live with a disability or a disease? So therefore, that is also very important. And third is longevity, which means that what if I live much longer beyond the means of my earning tenure? So typically, if we say that anybody active in business or a corporate job would want to work till, let's say, 60, 65. But if the life expectancy goes beyond 70, 75, 85, then how do I fund my living? So all these risks are there when it comes to insurance. And therefore, if you look at the demography of our country, we have a very young population right now. We are a very young country. So retirement is going to be a very, very big phenomena. Retirement planning is going to be a very, very big phenomena. So is the current mortality or the risk. And because all these people will have to have a savings for their financial future, insurance, I think, is very high. So even if you look at some of the data like the penetration ratio, the density of insurance, we are not very close to what developing countries are. So from a potential perspective, there is an immense potential for life insurance to grow further. In fact, therefore, one of the visions of the government of India and the regulator is that we want insurance for all by 2047. So I think this is a very, very growth oriented time for insurance. Every machinery is working towards that. So it's up to every life insurer that what they want to achieve out of this. And at Pramerica Life, we are very committed to insurance for all at 2047.
Great, great. Thank you so much, sir. So, but before I close, I want to ask you a different question altogether, right? You mentioned you've published your first book recently, right? Beyond the What Ifs, and congratulations on that. And while that book focuses, on some of the fundamental questions revolving around building a secure life with insurance, I wanted to give it a different twist today, right? I want to hear from you, what are those what if questions or moments that have shaped how you think about life, both in personal and professional terms?
See, what if is the way it occurs to me is that it is a question of procrastination. Okay, rather than you actually taking action and making a difference in your life or someone else's life, you just think what if, what if, what if. Like for example, when I was to join life insurance, I was not understanding life insurance then, and I was not very sure whether I want to join there. Because I always thought that when a LIC agent used to come to my doorstep, because that was the time when privatization just had happened and insurance was just opening up. So the only insurance we knew was LIC. And when those people used to come in, people used to look down upon them in that sense that, okay, yeah, they used to avoid their calls, कि अरे ये policy बेचेगा types. So, not even बेचेगा, चिपकाएगा. That was the word used. And even today, people kind of look down upon this profession. But once I decided, I understood the product. I think, and the very first experience when I was one of my customers actually had a mishap and we had to pay the claim. The wife of that customer actually touched my feet, thanking me for what, while I had done nothing. It was his money. I only took pain to kind of sell that policy to the person. But that's where I realized that how much noble profession this is, and you can really make a difference. People may say no to you, people may look down upon you. That's fine, because the ulterior objective is that you are making difference to someone. So it's okay if you want, if you are not kind of respected for that particular moment, but once you make a difference to people, that profession will be looked, and it's as noble profession as a doctor, I believe, being into finance. So it's a financial doctor in a way, this profession, insuring people. So those are the what if scenarios which people always have. And so it is more about hesitating to take a decision. And my principle has been, and over the period of time, you first jump and you will swim. So that's how I look at life.
That's a great perspective, sir. I think, and I've learned a new term from you, financial doctor. I think that suits, the insurance industry very well. So, thank you so much, sir. I think, I have kind of reached the end of my questions for you. It really helped us understand, thrown some light on what's happening in the insurance industry today, maybe cleared some doubts as, more and more people watch this. I hope it will clear some doubts on the technology that they have to adapt, not run away from. Right. So it's been a very enlightening session for me, and I hope you've enjoyed talking to us as well, sir.
Yeah, yeah, pleasure was all mine. And really excited because AI and overall technology comes very close to my heart. When I look back on my career of 22 years, I have several instances of adopting new technologies and making a lot of industry firsts. So I wish I would continue the same at Pramerica Life as well. But thank you for having me here.
Thank you, thank you. The pleasure was all ours, sir. Anything that we can do to, remove the buzzword tag from AI and make it mainstream, we want to do whatever's possible then. And thank you so much for joining us in that. So I'll just check if we have questions. Okay, there is one coming from the audience. Okay, how crucial do you think it is for a voice bot to capture and interpret Indian dialects accurately? Okay, from our question on, voice as a channel for India. So, yeah.
So it is very critical to answer that question, understanding the dialect and the pronunciations actually, especially in various parts of countries, the pronunciation is taken very differently for different names, and people are very sensitive to that. Like for example, when I was implementing my first bot, the bot when you enter when you have given the script to the bot and my name written is Amar Sane, but the bot will read as Amar Sane.
Yeah.
Now, that is a very sensitive issue, and therefore, understanding the local dialect, understanding the pronunciation is very critical to, and one of the decisions. So, when I said the technical parameters on which I evaluate a bot, this is one of those parameters, that how does it perform on those scenarios? And it is a very brilliant question and very important that we look at that, because our customers are very sensitive to the way we pronounce their names.
Right. And I think Western AI technology would probably not be able to get these nuances, cultural and
Absolutely.
nuances of India. Right.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, something similar that, we're doing at Mihu.
Yeah, but I have seen a lot of people having that technology and having that adoption already there. So it's not a
Right.
worry that we don't have it.
Right.
If you find the right partner, you will get it.
Yeah, I think the focus on India has, suddenly, the focus of AI for India has suddenly, burst, and
Yeah.
everyone's focusing on that.
Yeah, with Microsoft's day before yesterday's announcement of investment in India,
Yeah,
I think AI is a good thing for us as a country, as a industry. It is only that we need to be move beyond the fears, beyond the what ifs, and just go and adopt.
exactly. Okay, so okay, we have one more question, two more questions actually. So, okay, Rohit asks, AI will continue to evolve rapidly in the coming years. In this context, what is the optimal time for an organization to adopt AI solutions?
I would say that you should have adopted as of yesterday because there is no perfect timing. As I said, the first bot when I implemented, it was very raw, very niche, and it has evolved over a period of time. Because I was there in that space and my upgrades happened much faster because of that. So you will always have that edge. There is no perfect timing, I may say, to implement AI. With whatever technology you have today, what is the use case you have, it is making sense to you and relevant to you, you should go ahead and implement. And the companies like me who will continue to upgrade themselves and they will bring you the latest. So that's my recommendation.
Okay. We have one very interesting question. It's actually a fear that we have come across in the market as well. So I'll sum it up. It's related to voice bots being used in collections. So they are saying that if people ignore calls from humans, why will they pick up bots? Number one. And number two, many people prefer talking to a human if they even have to, right? So, will bots become more of a hurdle when it comes to collections, or can they help?
In my experience, it helps a lot. And I said that voice bot I implemented in 2019. Since that, the technology has evolved. Nowadays, people don't even call it as voice bot, they call it as humanoids. And why? Because it is a replica of a human talking. So if you don't tell the customer, it is very difficult for a customer to realize that actually a human is not talking to you. So from that standpoint, there is no difference between a human caller and this. Yes, the degree of complexity in terms of answering the questions of a customer, a human might be better placed today than a bot. With these AI, there are a lot of ML technologies also which are coming up. So the bot will also learn on the go. If you want to implement that, you should definitely go ahead and implement. Find the best partner for you and just go ahead and implement. And technology will evolve. You have to move beyond the what if.
Right. Got it. I think that was the last question. So, any last thoughts you want to end this discussion with?
The last thought is that I don't know who are your audiences today, but from an insurance perspective, I would say that while it's difficult, while it's challenging, it is very imperative that train our people on how do I do life goal based financial planning. And my insurance solutions are adapt and customized for a particular customer's need. And therein, I think AI will play a very, very important role for you because from the plethora of information you may have about all the products and the customer needs, how a AI platform can really bring up a solution for you, which you can instantaneously share with the customer. So that is going to be very important. AI technology, which will help you train your sales teams and the distribution, wherein the role plays happen and so on and so forth. I think those are the technologies which, as an insurance industry, we should adopt like we are doing at Pramerica Life today. So we will make a very big difference in terms of how insurance is perceived by the customer. And that is also one of the reasons I wrote that book. I don't want people to say that insurance is sold. I want insurance to be bought. So that's the difference I think in next 10 years we need to create.
Great. Thank you so much, sir. I hope we are able to cross paths with you sometime in person. And it's been a very enlightening session for me, and I'm sure for my audience as well.
Thank you so much. Happy to be here.
Thank you, sir. See you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.